Hello, geometry students. This is the video of example 5 for Geometry Topic 3, Lesson 1, using reflections. You ever play pool? Here we go. Let me turn this down because I think they talk a little bit louder than I do.
In a billiards game, a player must hit the white cue ball, labeled C, so that the cue ball hits the red ball, labeled O, without touching the yellow ball. Where should the cue ball bounce off the top rail so it hits the red ball? Consider the top rail as a line of reflection and find the reflection of the red ball. The line of reflection, labeled R, is drawn where the cue ball will bounce. To find the reflection of the red ball, we use the line of reflection. The image of the red ball, labeled O', is the same distance from the line of reflection as the red ball. This is how we know it is a correct reflection. Now, draw the segment from the cue ball to the image of the red ball. Reflect the segment from the cue ball to the red ball across the line of reflection. This shows us a path that the cue ball can take to hit the red ball. The player should aim at point P, where the two segments intersect. Point P is where the cue ball will bounce off the top rail so it hits the red ball without touching the yellow ball.
Yeah, I don't think the red ball is going to go in though, so they probably would, that's a little pool action there for you. Moving on to one for us to try. All right, here's the Desmos where I will try to go through how to do that. Student A sees the reflected image across the mirror of another student who appears to be at B prime. When you're looking at a mirror, it looks like somebody's behind the mirror, but they're really, right, the person's really over here, but you see the image. So they see the image there. Use the tool to show the actual position of student B. All right, I'll give this a shot. I didn't practice that much. And let me go to the bigger screen. All right. We take this one here. Let's make the perpendicular segment thing going on. Remember that? Make a perpendicular line. Choose a line to set the slope. I want this to be the line. And I want it to go through that point. And now I can label this point here as, I don't know what I want to call that point. I'm not going to call it anything. And what I can do is find something that's the same distance down here, I can use the circle. There's other ways to do this. This is how I tend to do it. I can use the circle function. Boom. And now I know this point here. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Let me bail. I wanted to label that as a point. I do want to label this point because if that's B prime, the reflection, this is going to be point B. So let me label that point. Point B. Very good. Now, what did they want? Oh, we have to show the segment that's going through there, right? No, I don't. I'm done. The directions were to find the, let me go back. Use the tool to show the actual position of student B. Well, that's where student B actually is. I didn't even have to draw, I thought I had to draw this other segment, but I didn't have to for this case. I mean, I can come in here and do it later and show the reflection points, but all they really want to know is where B was, and B is going to be off the perpendicular bisector. Let's see what they had for an answer. Check answer. Oh, they used the same setup. They used the circle function to find there. So I don't know if that was enough to understand how to do the homework. Let's see what the next page is. The next page. Oh, this was the last part of the lesson. So here's a review of the whole lesson. Reflections. Reflection is a transformation that reflects each point in the pre-image across a line of reflection. And we had the diagram of a reflection. Remember the perpendicular bisector. Then we had the symbols with the capital R's to show reflection about line M. There's a review of the lesson. The problems you should be able to do now are 29, 32, 13, 14, and 35. That's it for this video. Have a great day.